Good morning, everybody. It's your pal Heather, and I have a special guest with me, my favorite son.
John Slayball.
So formal. So, JR and I call him JR. Can I call you JR? All right. So, JR and I, have been talking about being kind to ourselves, and sometimes I beat myself up for stuff that I didn't even do.
Not literally, though.
No, not like but I do, like, just let's take economical justice for one thing. Like, I feel guilty because I have what I need, and there are people very close to me that don't have what they need, and so I beat myself up about that. Do you do that sometimes, Jared?
I just not really like beat myself up about it, but I do sympathize with the people.
Do you know anybody who like has a hard time like getting all of their meals that they need? Or
yeah, I know a few, but unfortunately there's not much I can do for them. So I just kind of support them in the ways I can.
Yeah. How do you do that?
Just psychological support.
What about as
friend.
As a fresh 18-year-old, being out and looking for jobs and stuff like that, economical justice can actually apply to the workplace too.
Yeah.
Having a space for everybody. Ugh!
Ladybug.
Hate those ladybugs. No, there's space for ladybugs too, right? Anyhow.
Just not in the car.
Not on my elbow. Anyways, so do you feel like you've applied for jobs before you were 18 and you didn't, like, maybe get a call back, or you were interviewed but you got like a feeling that you weren't gonna get a call back about it?
Yeah. A lot of those big corporation places, actually the one Lowe's I applied to before as a cashier, but didn't get a text back about it. So that was...
Either way.
Yeah, either way. That felt kind of bad.
Yeah.
Because they said they were hiring, and then you don't get a call back. You'd think they'd take anyone.
Well, and it applies to gender and race and all of that stuff, right?
Right.
And that makes me feel bad too. And I beat myself up about not being enough for everybody else. So, when we think about fall, this is all going to tie together, I promise. When we think about fall, one of like my favorite things is like looking at the colors and all of the different patterns and the different trees, and some trees lose their leaves faster than other trees, and they don't seem to care at all. The trees are cool with all of it, right?
Right.
I think that's pretty neat that nature can show us that, you know, the birch tree can live next to the oak, and this birch tree in front of us is actually almost bare, but what is that tree next to it with the yellow and green?
I'm not entirely sure.
But it has everything still, and it still has green.
Exactly. I mean, even the bushes.
Yeah, the The grass is still green, but we're focusing on the trees. You can see some color behind us. Driving through Logan earlier this week, I mean, the hills looked like a patchwork quilt was just laid over it. But now everything's starting to look a little scarce. And I just think it's amazing that nature knows what's right. Not just with, being cool with all the other trees, being how they are and whatever color they are. But also letting things go.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
they just do it.
It's not always just about fitting in. It's about looking at yourself and saying, I feel good here.
Yeah. Or good in like your own body and knowing that you do good and you're allowed to like yourself.
Right.
You found a really cool poem when we were talking about this earlier. Do you mind reading it?
Not at all. So it goes, and some days I forget what it is to be gentle with myself, how to look at myself with kind eyes, and speak to myself with soft words. Forget that I am at home in a temple worthy of worship. By Becca Lee.
I like that. And I think that we'll end on that note. So let's just be kind to ourselves and know that this space that we're in, this body we're in, it's okay to give it some praise too. Have a great Sunday. Be kind this week, y'all.